What up, what up? Welcome back to SpellTable Splits. My name is Chris, and here we like to play games of EDH on SpellTable. We record those games, and we post them for your viewing pleasure. So, if you're liking the content we're pushing out here, throw us a subscribe, like the video, drop a comment letting me know which of these commanders were your favorite from the episode, and we'll keep getting on with the getting on. Now, we had our 50 subscriber giveaway go off last week. It went very well. James Maccabee won, but he's yet to reach out. So, if James doesn't reach out within the next week, we'll go ahead and pick another winner. I won't make a dedicated video for it, so keep a lookout on these videos coming out in the next week to see if we're going to do a new drawing and see if you won from the last giveaway. Also, you can go ahead and join the Discord down below, come meet some new people, play some games of EDH, maybe hop in a pod or two, and we'll have a good time. I think that's going to be it for the announcements. Let's go ahead and get into the commanders we're playing today. Starting off with myself, I'm playing Myrkul, Lord of Bones. This is an Enchantress Aristocrat strategy deck. Then we have Pasto playing Glissa the Traitor. It's a Golgari Artifact Recursion deck. And Hermes going to be playing Adrix and Nev, Twin Casters, looking to duplicate his permanents and spells. Lastly, we have Simon playing Rielle the Everwise. This is a Spell Slinger deck with the focus on discard. So, you know what the commanders do. Without further ado, let's take it to the table. I'll start the game off by playing a Plains and passing the turn. Pasto plays a Forest, and then he'll cast the highly sought after turn 1 Soul Ring. Using that, he'll cast Wayfarer's Bauble and pass the turn over to Hermy. Hermy plays a Forest, and then he'll move to Instep, where I'll go ahead and cast Enlightened Tutor, tutoring for Smothering Tithe, putting that on top of my library. Simon plays a Mystic Sanctuary tapped, and then he'll pass it over to me. I'm gonna play an Undergrowth Stadium, and then I'll cast Farseek, searching up an Endatha Triome. From there, I'll pass the turn. Pasto plays an Urborg Tomb of Yawgmoth, giving everybody swamps. Then he'll pass the turn from there. Hermy plays an Island and casts 3 visits, searching for a Forest and passing his turn. Simon plays a Mountain, moves to his Instep, where Pasto will crack Wayfarer's Bauble and go ahead and fetch a swamp. I'm gonna cast Mana Crypt, and then cast the Smothering Tithe I tutored for earlier. With that on the stack, Simon's gonna respond to that by casting Arcane Denial, countering it and allowing me to draw 2 and him 1 at the next upkeep. I pass the turn from there, and we draw our cards. Pasto plays a Forest, and then he'll cast his commander, Glissa the Traitor. Then he'll pass the turn. Hermy plays Misty Rainforest, and he plays his commander, Adrix and Nev, Twin Casters. Then from there, he'll pass the turn. Simon plays an Island, and then he'll cast his commander, Rielle the Everwise. From there, he'll pass to me. I'm gonna win my Mana Crypt roll, and then I play an Overgrown Tomb. From there, I'm gonna cast Guardian Augmenter. After that, I pay 2 life and cast Birthing Pod, passing the turn from there. Pasto plays a Fabled Passage, and then he'll cast Seaborn Muse. After that, he trash cans the Fabled Passage to go ahead and fetch a Forest, passing his turn from there. Hermy and Pastel will both untap together. Hermy's gonna cast Kodama's Reach. Pastel will respond to that by casting Dictate of Erebos. Then Hermy fetches a Forest to play and an Island to his hand, passing the turn from there. Simon starts his turn by casting Faithless Looting to draw himself 2 cards and discard 2 cards. With his commander out, he'll be able to draw 2 thanks to him discarding 2. He'll play an Island as his land. Then he moves to Instep, discarding an Island and passing the turn. I'm gonna start my turn by losing my Mana Crypt roll. Then I'll play Horizon Canopy as my land, and I'll cast my commander, Myrkul, Lord of Bones. after which I'll pass the turn. Pastel casts Temple Bell, then activates it to let the table draw a card. From there, he'll play Field of Ruin as his land, and then he'll cast Pitiless Plunderer. From there, he'll pass the turn over to Hermie. Hermie's going to start by playing a Tide Channel Pathway, then he'll cast Gyre Engineer. From there, he'll go ahead and cast Zimone, Condrix Prodigy, and he'll move to his end step where Pastel is going to let everybody draw again thanks to Temple Bell. Simon's going to start his turn by playing an island, then he'll cast Channeled Force, discarding 4 cards and dealing 4 damage to Pastel's Seedborn Muse, which will have Pastel responding to that by sacrificing his Field of Ruin, destroying Simon's Mystic Sanctuary, allowing the table to go ahead and fetch basic lands. Simon will draw 8 cards, 4 from his commander ability, 4 from Channeled Force, resolving. Then because of the Dictative Erebos, we all have to sacrifice a creature. I'll go ahead and sacrifice my Guardian Augmenter, making it an enchantment thanks to Myrkul. Hermie will sacrifice his Zimone, and Simon will have to sacrifice his commander. He'll then move to end step where Pastel will again tap Temple Bell, allowing the table to draw another card. I'll start my turn by winning my mana crypt roll. Then I'll cast Citizen Champion. Then I'll use Birthing Pod to sacrifice Citizen Champion, drawing for its ETB and searching for a creature with CMC 1 more than that. I get a Crypt Ghast, allowing me to tap my swamps for an additional black, and since every land is a swamp, I get double the mana. I tap out to cast Smothering Abomination. And from there I'll cast Devoted Druid. Then I'll play a forest, move to combat, and attack Simon for 9 commander damage before passing the turn. Pastel starts by casting Sylvok Replica, immediately sacrificing it to destroy my Birthing Pod. He said, "You got enough value out of that." And because of Dictative Erebos, we all have to sacrifice a creature. I sack my Crypt Ghast, turning it into an enchantment, and Hermie sacks his Gyre Engineer. And because I sacked a creature and created an enchantment, I'll draw 2 cards, one from Smothering Abomination and the other from Citizen Champion. Pastel will then cast Wayfarer's Bauble and use his treasure to sack it and fetch a swamp. From there, he'll use his Temple Bell, allowing everyone to draw a card, and then he'll drop a forest as his land and cast Memory Jar before passing the turn. Hermie plays Yavi Maya Cradle of Growth, then he'll cast Squirrel Nest, targeting his island. From there, he'll cast Rapid Hybridization, targeting my Smothering Abomination, which will have Pastel getting back his Sylvok Replica thanks to his commander's ability to return an artifact from his graveyard to his hand whenever an opponent's creature dies. I will choose to exile my Smothering Abomination, turning it into an enchantment. Hermie will then tap his enchanted island to make a squirrel token, and thanks to his commander, he'll get 2, then he passes his turn. Simon starts his turn by casting Firestorm, discarding his entire hand. In response to that, I'll cast Heroic Intervention, removing his legitimate target. From there, he'll cast Echo of Eons from his graveyard. With that on the stack, Pastel will respond by sacrificing his Memory Jar, having all of us exile our hand and drawing 7 fresh cards. Then the table shuffles their hands and graveyards into their libraries and draws a fresh 7 cards. Simon moves to his end step where we will discard our new 7 cards and pick up our original 7 thanks to Memory Jar. I'll lose my mana crypt roll, and because of Smothering Abomination, I'll have to sacrifice a creature. I choose to sacrifice my Devoted Druid, exiling it and making it an enchantment. Then I draw from Smothering Abomination and Citizen Champion. I now have infinite green mana thanks to Devoted Druid. I cast Eidolon of Blossoms, drawing from itself and Citizen Champion. Then I cast Viscera Seer, giving myself a sack outlet, finally. From there, I sacrifice Viscera Seer and draw myself 3 cards thanks to Smothering Abomination, Citizen Champion, and Eidolon of Blossoms. Then I'll go ahead and cast Baratin Medic, immediately sacrificing it to draw more cards. And this now allows me to prevent all combat damage to me and all of my creatures. From there, I'll cast Tendershoot Dryad, sacrificing it to draw more cards. Then I'll cast Rampig Tutor, allowing me to tutor for any card in my library. And with infinite mana and no way for the table to interact with me, they all concede and Myrkul takes the win.